stand. We play a little game. The Random Man, the lovely thing about having a very cultural girlfriend is that she always takes you crazy places. And we walked to a shop and they had the Rat Pack cards from 1991.
Oh,
now,
okay.
if you are a collector of any cards, you would love this shop. Unfortunately, I don't have the address for you because I'm a hater. So,
but it's in Williamsburg, though.
It's in Williamsburg. Whatever. Look, they ain't even need to know that. Random Man found these cards, and Rand said, "Hey, yo, John, look what I got." He saw the cover, he didn't get a chance to skim through them. So the game we're gonna play is.
I have the same cards, actually.
Okay. The game we're gonna play is, I'm gonna pick a random card.
Okay.
I'm gonna shuffle these.
Okay.
And you shuffle, blah blah blah, skibbity-doo, skibbity-boo bop, beep bop, Scooby-Doo, and all that good stuff. They've been shuffled, and he just walked through our scene. But they've been shuffled. I'm gonna pick a random card out of this pack.
Okay.
You're gonna give me the first thing that comes to mind when you see this artist.
Okay.
Or graffiti, because there is graffiti in this pack.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds
Cool. Bam!
Card picking process.
Salt and pepper.
Wow. Why would that be the first one?
Wow.
First thing I think, that was random.
That was random.
The first thing I think of when I think of that is that I used to have the biggest crush on Salt. That's the first thing I think of.
So did I.
Wow. The lyrics to My Desire.
Oh.
That was a that was,
I was just listening to that.
The illest. Salt from the pepper, and my name is Cher from Queens, New York, not Delaware. Man, they were cradle running in. I eat it rare, and I'm lovable and huggable like Yogi Bear. Salt and pepper to me were the illest, you know, female hip hop groups.
Salt. Oh man.
So that's what I think.
Yeah, Salt and Pepper by far. And it captured an era of hip hop that was just crazy. And you know, the latest stuff, talk about sex and all that, was the more commercial stuff. But to me, they'll always be the queens on I Desire. You know what I mean? Yeah, they will always be the queens of hip hop, period. No question.
2 Live Crew.
I'm gonna let him take that one. What I thought, my first thought, these motherfuckers was corny. Oddly enough, my man here was signed to this label.
Okay.
So, 2 Live Crew, go ahead. And make it brief.
Okay.
They was corny.
Okay, let me say something. I gotta find this in my heart for them. I was signed to Luke Records. Okay, I had an album come out on Luke Records. We had a top 20 nationwide hit on Luke Records. And so they kind of mentored me in the game to a degree on the rap industry and a bunch of other things. But
popping that coochie.
No, it was crazy, you know what I mean? So that's what I think of with the 2 Live Crew. Like, I got love for all of them. John O, however, was on Polygram.
Okay, let's pick the next card.
The DOC.
Yo, the first thought of mine is I was on a basketball team called New Life at the time this album came out, and we was in DC, and we stayed up all night in the hotel playing this. And the one thing that I remember is on the grand finale, Doc's part on there was so bananas. And I was sitting there playing it over and over, trying to get every word that the Doc was saying on that. That's what I remember about
DOC. To me, one of the most underrated lyricists in the history of hip hop. That album, the formula.
I'll agree.
That whole album, even the production on it was crazy.
Alright. Dana Dane.
Wow.
Yeah, that's funny. Actually, if you listen to A Nation of Geckos to Hold Us Back, the person introducing us on the album is Dana Dane. So that's ironic that you would pull that out.
Yeah. So first thing I think of when I think of Dana Dane,
what, Nightmares?
No, I was gonna say something personal. But no, I think of Dana Dane, you know, Nightmares when I think of that.
Dana's just that whole Slick Rick Dana Dane crew. You know, and his whole steez, well, I walked into the office, that whole, Dana's.
Okay.
Back to the mixtape.
Okay.
Right.
Let's talk about some of my favorite joints.
Okay.
First, we're going to talk about a joint that was featured on your joint, verse, or with D Rose
on the Harlem and Houston.
On the Harlem Houston.
Right.
I'm So Alive, and then it was extended with to a different verse by you.
Right.
On Takes the Nation.
Right. I'm So Alive came to us, or came to me originally because it was a track my friend D Rose sent to me, and by a guy from Connecticut named Jacob. It was just a dope track, and Jacob has a way of bringing, him and Cosmos have a way of bringing out the best of us, because we're recording, and I'm trying to tell her to go around, but she's still going anyway.
Come on.
It was a dope track that was sent to me, and at the time I was going through something with my family and my ex-girlfriend, so a lot of that came out of that, and then I slid-eyed it over to my man.
Yeah, so we did the track. We wanted to do an extension of it for a while. If you notice on O's first verse, the first version of Harlem Houston, he was talking about that situation. On the second version, we're talking about the things that keep us alive. And for him, it was the people who motivate him to keep him alive, whereas I was discussing overcoming struggle and still finding an appreciation for being here. So we just extended the topic and then put it out there, you know. And I think it came out, the final result was cool.
Shout out to my man D Rose, the Cashmere Don, and my man Jacob.
Yeah, definitely. Big shouts to the Jake, man.
Yeah.
Dope producer.
One of the other songs that I really love lyrically for its meaning and the such power behind it would be Love Yourself. So let's get into your purpose behind Love Yourself and why Love Yourself came about and what kind of emotions you guys felt while writing that and putting that together.
Well, you could tell the story better than
Love Yourself is a track that was sent to me by a friend named Doc, from a guy named Arsonist, also in Texas.
a lot of heat in Texas.
Originally, Love Yourself was supposed to be on John Oates' solo album. I had a friend growing up, her name was Kimberly. She, very cute girl. She was dating this dude from the east side of Harlem who used to be all the time. And this was, I had to be like 14, 15, whatever. And when it got back, like we had met the dude and all that, and he seemed like a cool dude. Everything I say in the song is absolutely verbatim the truth. He had us all fooled. One day we get word back, yo, Kimberly died. How Kimberly died? The dude that she was with wound up punching her in the face, and she fell and she hit her head on the sink, and it killed her. Come to find out, her family tells us that this was a long-going thing with her and this dude. He was always hitting on her. So I am a very big fan of where I grew up. Harlem is, without Harlem, I wouldn't be who I am. So anytime I get to do something that has to do with where I came from, I do it proudly. Kimberly is a part of Harlem. She's a part of me. I miss her, and that's what happened to come out when I wrote this rhyme. And I was actually going to do 2 verses to it, because there's another person I know, they didn't die, but they was in a domestic relationship. But then I passed it on over to my man P, and then he took it from there. I love how, man, I'm on my new edition thing right now.
Yeah, with the pass off.
Pass off. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I just felt like with O's, once I heard O's verse, it was something that goes on in our community, in all the communities, and it's not really spoken on, or spoken to. And one of the things that used to be great about hip hop is it provided you a window into different worlds. People used to speak on topics. And in trying to stay diverse, we said, all right, well, here's something that a lot of people go through. Let's touch on that. Let's talk about it.
So, basically, my last question is a question I'm gonna ask to everybody.
Okay.
What makes the Gecko Brothas definitely amazing?
Yo, this is, again, I'm gonna make this real short. There's a lot of groups out there on the underground scene, and we have much respect for them.
Much love.
But I'm gonna say this on some MC shit, there's nobody out here that gives a performance like the Gecko Brothas. There's tons of guys out here, but there's nobody that keeps it gecko like we do. And I think the strongest point, even though our music is great and stuff, but I think one of the strongest points that Gecko has is our live stage show. Because we come from an era where we watched the greats do it time after time, and we took everything from those people and we added it to our show, and that's what makes us definitely amazing.
I love it. I love it. How about you? What do you think?
I would say that definitely the level of respect we have for the people who came before us and how we try to translate that through our new music and show appreciation. And not only that, I mean, we really get it in on the lyricist side. You know, like there are cats who make records who don't rhyme, like freestyling. We do that. We work the battle circuit. We did that. So you know, we are the complete epitome of what a hip hop artist should be.
And again, I reiterate what he said. Our respect for those that came before us. Take Cover is a prime example of that. Like, truth be told, every album that we've put out has some kind of homage to somebody that's before us.
Oh, and before we end this, I just want to say publicly, Take Cover. Even though I love it, takes the Gecko name. I love that. Take Cover is one of my favorite choices of all time.
Oh, okay. Well,
that right there, that stay in rotation.
And the thing
that's a classic album.
Yeah, and we did that. I've had people come up to me and say, "Yo, I heard Take Cover, but I never heard that song about the Fat Boys. I went back and listened to Fat Boys. They're amazing." I'm like, "Yo, that's what we tried to do."
Let me tell you something right now. Your man Random Man had a phenomenal interview with these guys. It's going to be very hard to try to edit stuff, because there's a lot of stuff I want to keep in there. I'm going to try to like make it not so long where it bores people, but this ain't going to be boring at all.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal interview. Did I do good? Because I remember you said in the beginning, I put myself at a high standard.
There you go.
You did a great job. You did definitely amazing.
Hey, absolutely.
Thank you. I love that.
And if you don't have enough footage, you could always have footage of me doing this. So you can always cut to that.
I love it.
Definitely. Be on the lookout for other stuff too.
Yes.
The next album is Gecko Nation. Follow after that will be possibly Grindhouse, but there's some other stuff.
We're doing a few other projects. We're actually doing a project called The GBs Meet the Bee Gees.
Yes.
Where we're gonna tell.
Don't tell them nothing more about that. I'll figure it out.
Can't tell y'all no more about that.
We got that.
We give you the exclusive after that.
We got the Armageddon project coming.
Oh yeah, Armageddon. Yeah,
Armageddon with Priest, myself, D Rose, and Afion Crockett.
I mean Oscar Mill.
Oscar Mill. Yes. And we have the solo Jono. We got the Hall of Two Houston Part 2, and then we have my album from day one.
Yeah, and the Priest solo album, God Hates Cowards. I want to go on record as saying I've had the title God Hates Cowards for a number of years.
Like 30 years.
Yeah, because there's another rapper coming out who named his album God Something Something. And I don't want the confusion. I already had
on the road. Once again, Random Man, the Gecko Brothas. It gets no more Gecko than this.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Gecko.